Alright folks, oh, you're just in time for an ice cream. Good luck with that, mate. Maybe the dog will try one. Oh, so there is a football pitch, children's play area, and then there's this wood at the top of this slope. It slopes up and up and up, and in fact over that way it goes on for a mile or so, and this is where I saw that tree shaker. So I went down in there yesterday. You'll see this little hole you can get in down there, but it just ends, and there's a fence sort of comes up that way and runs along. So this bit here is quite narrow, but this and that way opens right out. As I say, it goes on for a fair trek. So we're going to go up and have a butcher's. I remember where we came out. Yes, I think we actually came out in that corner there, but could have been here, just here by this bench that we came out. So there's obviously a few pathways that go up and through it. Yeah, this is where we came out. So Bigstep, I've got the compass. And I'm here alone. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm very alone, in fact, because the weather's a bit lousy and it is Sunday lunchtime, so people are going to be eating, or I don't know what they watch on telly. Jeremy Kyle? I don't know. Football probably. In the pub having a pint. So there's an archway there. We'll get onto that in a second. This felt like a bit of a blind. Couple that run up through in there, and then this is one. Yep. Odd. Oh. Okay, so I need to navigate my way up here without causing any injury. And it is pretty steep, this lot. Oh, right, we're up. And we'll have a good look round through here today. We've got plenty of time. There's the archway that I mentioned. There's the other end of it, which is pinned by this one. So let me just take a step back. You can clearly see it's pinned by that there. This one comes up and up and up and up and up, and the end of it is that there, right there. So I'm going to lift it and we'll see whether or not that bough wants to come up with it. Not much, no. Big leaner there. All looks pretty busy in this little patch. Okay, the main action I think was up that way, so that's where we'll head. As you can see, this is fairly steep. Excuse me. A little cluster of stuff going on here. It's clearly a structure that's been collected and placed there. Can't discern any obvious purpose. Wow, that's interesting. So there's, I don't know, 40 sticks there that are all very similar in length. And then around them it's quite bare you know. See what I mean? There's like a bare patch around them. But this was what I wanted to come up and talk about a little bit. The reason I want to talk about this is to point out how precise and how uniform how purposeful you can clearly see that many of those are cut possibly to size even. Some aren't cut, but many are. So it started at this end, obviously there's the X there that denotes the end point. Ties that in. Comes up to this end, but it's all very, very tidy. That is why this is people. Ah. That's unusual, isn't it? There's another one of those flowers just there. They're cotton, canvas, something like that. Another bit there. Okay. So that's the people bit out of the way. So what's this doing here then? It's like 4 foot off the ground, suspended in that hawthorn. Okay, so where's it come from? There's ash trees above me. I've learned that ash are notorious for deadfall. They do like to fall to pieces. Here's a pinned arch. Starts here, comes up and round, down, and it's pinned under a great big long part that goes off down there. A couple more over the top of it too. There it is, pinned there. Which is just a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, a chap there walking a dog. Probably wondering what on earth am I up to. Maybe you ought to subscribe. Right, that's the other thing that I pointed out. Couldn't go and look at it because I had two hungry children in tow. I don't today. Strange. Oh, there's one over there as well. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time at this elevation, this little section here. I think that grew there, but I'm going to give it a pull. Yeah, it grew there. That's odd. But look at this. Right, now compared to that den down there, which is, you know, a wonder of modern architecture, what is this? Can anybody give me a purpose? So if you're a gang of kids and you decide you're going to come out into the woods and mess about and have some fun, when you start collecting sticks, for whatever reason that might be, to have a little bit of a giggle and like, oh, let's make something, do you make that? No, it's not particularly good, is it? It doesn't, you can't get under it. It's not a fortification, it's not a base. Lots and lots propped in there. Although there is a path 20-25 feet away there, it's not in a very clever place to be a base at all, because you're not going to hide from anybody if you're playing a little gang game or something. So that's snapped off, snapped, 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 all snapped. This one's snapped. A couple of little ones poked underneath there. None of these are cut at all, not one. Not one. Right. Okay. So, Bigfoot, what are you doing? Well, let's see. Okay. These longer ones, the lighter coloured ones, point due east. They point due east. Bigstep UK, what are you on, man? How would you know that? How would you know that? Well, I suppose there's only 360 choices to make on that, aren't there? But yeah, those ones which seem to be the prominent ones, they point due east. So these on this side, therefore, let's see what they do. Do they point due east as well? No. Few. So they're south. These ones are south, but they're pretty vague. But those are all perpendicular and they're due east. Right, I think I might take stock for a minute, have a little scout and click back on in a minute. To show you where I've come from. So you'll see there's a pathway here and then over it goes down, and that's where that base is, perfect base thing, and also where the tree is with those leaners that are due east. So I've just come up there, across here, pathway comes up, but I'll just see this. There's ever such a lot of short sticks piled up against the base of that tree. Don't know what that could be. It looks like they've been brought there and piled up to me. Coincidence, nice symmetry, but I think coincidence. See what I mean about that thing? So yeah, I'll follow this along here because I think this wood goes a mile or so this way. See if anything presents itself. Now I see this type of thing quite a lot, where there's a fence and perched neatly on the fence there's a leaner. Might be a lime tree, I think, not sure. There's that. You just about make it out down through in there. There's that base down in there. Watch my footing on this, this is steep. And we'll have a mooch this way. Ah. Yeah, right, so I saw this from the other side yesterday. It certainly looked really odd. But I've studied the video a little bit. So there's this horizontal break, which then bends up, and its neighbour comes up in a beautiful arch. And I actually thought, from what I saw, that it was one tree that came somehow bent round. It's like a fish shape. There's its tail, but it's not. It is clearly two trees. We make of that lot. Again, somebody's collected lots of sticks, laid them all pretty much parallel. Oh, okay. Yeah, and there was the other little structure I'd found yesterday. I'll get in there in a minute, have a mooch in there. Some really big arches in there. So this looks like to me that it's just been cleared and managed like that. But like, what's this? What is this? So somebody's decided that tree's got to go. And there it is, there's the rest of it. Why would you then pile all these little boughs? Why would you pile those on top of it? Why would you lean them all up? Okay. Right, well, time to have a look at the compass again. Right, I'd say this is the general direction. You know what's weird about this is this one. Just one single one across it. The rest are all pointing to the crown of that. I can't even see that. What's going on here? Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? Well, wouldn't you know it? That's east. This is on the easterly side of it. Double check. Yep. I know. Reflection. It's on the easterly side. Bigstep, you and I need to talk, mate. I want to get through there. Where am I going here? This way. Right, there's a path. Let's hook onto that path. Follow it through that way because I think it's just an easier route. Shortcut. Bit odd, isn't it? Couple of leans in the crook of that. More there. It's quite well woven here. Lots piled up against that old lump there. Big break that points straight at it. This here, there just doesn't appear to be anything of any note through this area here. Maybe I need to be further up there. So that's curious to me. Just one solitary black right. So could it be, just think about that. So once upon a time, obviously this tree was standing upright. Could it be that when it was standing upright, that black stick laid across its root ball at the foot of it, and when that decided to fall down, it moved that with it, jammed it against this tree here and broke it? That's possible, isn't it? Whee! 10 points. Well, I suppose I better check out what that is. I know it's not going to be relevant to my research, but let's have a look. Fred's missing. Fred! No, he's still missing. That's a shame. Oh wow, look at those. They look like if I ate them I would die. I'm not even going to touch them. My word. Look at the amount of wood that's come off of that. That's immense, that. I'd say the diameter of that is 6 feet. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Little pathway up the side of it too, but I'm heading this way. I just heard some branches break up there. I just feel like I'm back into it here, you know. Snap. I was down in there. There's a branch suspended, the black one, just off the ground, you'll see. See the parallax there. This is a big fat vine that runs up. is that? Told you. What? What? What is this? Some work gone into it. Definitely some effort. Just showing you around because I don't see a path. I'm not near a path. I don't actually know what that is. That concertina thing. But somebody's built that, and there's lots that's gone into that. Tarpaulin, plastic sheet more accurately, some timber in it, some humany type littery nonsense, more timber. Looks like it's a part of a chair. Definitely a bit of carpentry. That's weird. Ready? It's like a blind here. But hey. So if I built this little den, how do I get to it? How do I... Ah. Somebody's shouting over there. They're not going to see me here, no way. Can't really make out where those individuals are. Might just chill out here for 10 minutes, see what happens. Check this lot. Big snap. Lots piled up in here right by it. And more. Real knot of stuff. Yep. So I think this place deserves another visit. I can go a bit further south along this ridge, see what else that brings. Right, there we go. There we go. This is what I found at the outset. There's that beautifully made structure. So where do I want to be? I want to be over there. Yeah, so there's that trail to explore another time. This is where I came in. Solitary golf in the car park. Just me. It's only me.